Hello, I'm BOODFM and welcome to my channel and welcome to another race video. I did loads of these for FM18 and I do plan on doing a few this year. I love doing them. I did one a few weeks ago. It was a non-league race to the Premier League. Go and check it out. It's a lot of fun to make. Hopefully it's a lot of fun to watch. Now this video itself has come out of an experiment I did recently where I tried to put the under-23 teams of Manchester United and Manchester City into the Championship just to see how they did. We went a few years into the future. It's quite interesting to see that you could actually do that. I think it was quite cool. And it gave me the idea to mix that up as a bit of an experiment and also a race. Now, this race doesn't last long. We have a clear winner quite early. I've picked 8 teams. I'll tell you why I picked them in a minute. But what we're going to do at the end of the episode is actually look at a few things. We're going to compare, basically, I've done an experiment. We're going to compare 2 of Manchester United's young players and 2 of Manchester City's young players. We're going to have a look at how well they do throughout this race, when they're playing for the under-23s in all the lower league English divisions, right? And then we're also going to have a look at them, how they play the same amount of time, but normally in a standard under-23 teams, playing in under-23 competitions only. And we'll see if the progression's any better. So then you can get an idea of yourself. No, it's not worth it. Or you might think it is worth it to put an under-23 team to the club I love in the actual football league because my youth players will become better. So we're going to have a comparison at the end to fill out the episode, basically. So the reason I chose these teams is because 7 of them are the top 7 teams in the league. If you go into the editor and you go to the Premier League and you arrange the teams by reputation, they're the top 7 teams. Dead easy, I just pick them for that reason. And then I needed an 8th team to round it off. I think Leicester was the next one, there might have been someone else. And then I saw Southampton and I just thought to myself, they're the team that stand out to me of having this reputation of being able to develop young players. So my own personal choice, I picked Southampton to be the 8th team. So what I've done is, I've created them all an under-23 team. They're all starting life in the Sky Bet League 2, and we're going to see who can get to the Championship first. Now, in the last episode, I cancelled Man United's and City's loans. I haven't done that this time, I'm keeping it real. If a player's out on loan, they're out on loan, and then they're just going to have to make do season by season. So, before we get going, who do you think gets to the Championship first? United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, the Spurs? Do Arsenal do it? Can Southampton, the underdog, do it? Let me know in the comments before you watch any further. Have a bit of fun with yourself. Also, don't forget, check out my series with Denton Villa. Also got a Journeyman weekly series. Go and check that out too. And a few other videos. There'll be more videos coming out as the year rolls on. So thank you for checking it out. Make sure you smash the like button if you're going to enjoy this. Just smash it anyway. If you're brand new, feel free to subscribe. Come and join the family. Let's get into it. Welcome to June. It's 2018. It's the start of the game, and this is the Sky Bet League 2. And you'll see our 8 clubs, under 23 teams, and now their own little team in the Football League. Obviously, I had to do a bit of jigging about, so I just got rid of 8 teams. If one of them teams is your team, I do apologise, but I had to make room for the purpose of this experiment. Now, we're not going to look at who the odds-on favourites are because I know from the last episode that it just uses the reputation of the parent club, which is not really realistic. We'll have a quick look at the under-23 teams though and see what they've got. Now, this is Manchester United, and you'll notice they've got players out on loan. Last time, like I mentioned earlier, I cancelled them so they had the full complement of players. I want to keep it a bit more realistic, maybe even give some of the smaller teams a chance. So I've not done that this time, but going forward year on year, it'll be up to each individual club to decide if they want to keep the players in the 23s playing in League 2 or League 1, or lower them out to a League 1, League 2 Championship team. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's Manchester United. This is Manchester City. They've got quite a few players out on loan, so I'll be interested to see what they do this year. Don't forget, some of the players from above can come down. I think they can have so many players play for the 23s. There is going to be one player, Brahim Diaz, who we're going to highlight later. And people did like to tell me in the last episode that he doesn't play for City. He's just gone to Real Madrid. I know, right? But this is an updated database. I'm not bothered about that. Doesn't matter. SI don't update the database till the transfer window shuts. And I'm filming this in January. The window ain't shut. And I didn't want to do that myself. So he is a City player for the purpose of this video. This is Arsenal's They've got the odd decent player-ish, but they don't look as good as United, do they? Next up is Chelsea, and they've got no chance. Where's all their players? They're going to have to do some under-18s, I reckon, because they've got so many good young players and just loan them out. So it's going to be a tough start for Chelsea. Next up is Everton. They've probably got a better chance, to be fair. Not as many out on loan. Got some decent valued players. Got a decent right back up there and attacking central midfielder. Liverpool, another team with a lot of players out on loan, so I'd be interested to see how they do. But they've got some good players. Brewster, when he's not injured, he's a good prospect. Next up is Spurs, and a team I reckon could do quite well because they haven't got many players out on loan, so they're going to have a good start, really. So I think they might do all right. And last but not least is Southampton, who haven't got the highest value players, but they've got a lot of them. You know, and they've got this reputation, haven't they, of doing all right with their youth players. So it'd be interesting to see if that comes across in this little experiment. So you've had a quick look at the squads. You've seen some teams have got less players than others. Some teams have to use under 18s. And you might have already commented down below and said what you think. Have you changed your mind? Let me know. Well, here we are. And surprisingly, I thought if the players were on loan, City had a great chance because they've got great youth players. But they had a lot of players out on loan, but they've still done well. And they got promoted. Liverpool finished in 5th, Chelsea 11th, United was bad in 18th, Southampton 19th, Arsenal, Everton. The worst was one of the teams I thought would do well was Spurs, who've got relegated out of League 2 into non-league. I have got the non-leagues on as well, but wow. Now, this is a race to the Championship, so we're not going to look at all the different cups of each team because it takes for absolutely ever. At the end of it, though, we might have a look if any team won a Checker Trade trophy or whatever. We'll have a look at that near the end. But it's all about getting to the Championship. Looks like City, they've got the Reds up there, haven't they? They've got a head start. Did you pick City? Can they go all the way? Welcome to June 2020. It's the next season, and we'll start off with the Vanarama National League because we knew Spurs got relegated, but they bounced straight back up, dominated the league, and they're back in the Football League. When it came to League 2, this second year was a bit better because a lot of the teams probably got the players back. Now, I know you could probably say, boo, it would have been fair if you cancelled all the loans, everyone had a good start, but then I thought it was more realistic. Plus, do you know how long it would take to go into the editor and cancel about 300 players loan deals? It'd take more time than I've got, so it's a bit more realistic. You know, if they'd already done the deals and the under-23s then got access to the league, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. City got the head start, but it was better this season. Southampton got relegated, so they're switching with Spurs. Everton weren't great. They finished in 19th. Liverpool finished in 4th. Oh, poor Liverpool. But Chelsea, United and Arsenal went up to League 1. But Manchester City were in League 1. So they had a chance to get into the Championship and put this race to bed pretty early. And that is exactly what Manchester City did. They won the league by 3 points, putting them into the Championship. Only 3 seasons. Easy peasy. 2 seasons. They got promoted. And now they're going into the 3rd season and they're in the Championship. So it's a very easy race. They can't go any higher. They can't get in the Premier League. Now, I did holiday a bit more and we could have a look at it. And I'll be honest with you, City come straight back down. Other teams go up and down and that. But this was a race to the Championship. And I'm a Man United fan, but you've got to take your hats off because City had a handicap at the start. They did. They had a lot of their best players out on loan, but they still did it, and then did it even better this year, and they've become a Championship club. And now what I did do is I've gone another few years. I've holidayed another season for this next part. And what I'm going to do is we're going to look at 2 City players and 2 United players after 3 years of playing for the under-23s in the league, and then for a standard normal under-23 teams to see if it's any better so you can compare. Now, I'm not going to speak over this. I've done a little graphic for you and you'll be able to see it before and after, and pause the video if you want and compare for yourself and then make a judgment on yourself. Do you think 3 years in the normal way this game works is better than maybe making yourself on under-23 teams and seeing if that's any better? It's totally up to you because the players are different. It's like the 2 different ways of doing it do different things to them. It's just up to you if they're the things you want out of a young player. So I'll stop talking Here are the 4 players. And like I said, I was going to show you how teams did, and Manchester City's under-23s won the Checkatrade Trophy last season, so that's good. I mean, City did well in the last experiment, they've done well here, so fair play. It's hard to say this is a United fan, but they're definitely the clear winners. Tottenham managed to win themselves an FA Trophy because obviously they went down in non-league, and Boston non-league beat Halifax, so the under-23s at least got a bit of face back after that relegation out of the Football League and picked up a trophy and a trip to Wembley. They also beat Liverpool in the under-23s Premier Division Cup. So another good achievement, especially when it was played in Liverpool as well. And if you're an Everton fan, this will be a bit gutting because Liverpool beat Everton in Liverpool for the under-23 Premier Division International Cup. Spurs won it the year before, so fair play, but yeah, if you're an Everton fan, that's not great viewing. Now, welcome to the editor. Before this episode's finished, I'm going to try and quickly teach you how you can do it for yourself, because a lot of people asked me after the last episode, so I thought, let's try and show you how to do it. So I'll try and explain it as best I can. Now, what we'll do is we'll use my beloved Manchester United as an example. So you click clubs, click add condition, click name, then type the name of your club, so Man United, enter, and you'll see all the Man Uniteds pop up. There's mine, click on that, and it'll open up the main club page. Now what you do is you come over here to the second part of the menu, it's called reserve teams. You click that. Now this is the standard. You leave this, this is how the game is set up. So it'll create the teams for you. They're not the actual little clubs, they're how you always see them when you play the game. When you go to your teams, you've got under 23 teams, under 18 teams. They'll be put into a division here, you can see them there. If you've got a stadium, all these details are put in, right? That's set up for you. That is the standard, right? Now, whenever you do anything on the editor and you remove a team from a division, you have to replace that team, right? If I remove this under 23 team, because I want to make one myself, the under 23 Premier Division 2 needs that team replacing. So you need to go somewhere. So for example, for this experiment, I went to Stockport County and I changed them. Now it can be anyone you want. This is Stockport. This was just an example. This is what I used to do it easily because they haven't got any reserve teams. They're in the non-league, but that doesn't matter. You can just go reserve teams to create, go to add. It'll come up with a reserve team. Change that to under 23s and then put them in the division. Like whatever the United's under 23 division, you put that there. So it's Premier Division 2, I think. So you put that in there and that is fine. They're going to replace Man United's team. And honestly, you need to do this because if there's one team missing from even the randomest division, even an under 18 Division 1 North, if there's one team missing, the whole of England will become unplayable. You won't be able to load it up. So you need to always make notes and cover your tracks. If you take a team out, it needs replacing. So what you need to do is now I'm going to delete them because now this division's got one team too many. So it won't work because I've added Stockport County to that division. So all we're going to do, you click that, yeah, click it, you've got to remove. Leave the under 18s as standard, right? It's this bit now. This is when you're going to be creating an actual club within a club. So if you go add, now before, if you look down here, look, this is Man United's details, right? That's it, all United. Now watch the bottom here, right? Go to reserve teams, go to add, and you get straight away, you get a B team. Look, that appears, an actual club within a club. Right? That if we actually click on, they've got their own specific ID. So if you want the logo, or you want a different logo, you're going to have to go in and add an extra logo and attach it to that ID. If you don't know how to do that, I made a video on how to do that recently. Go back and check it out. It teaches you how to put in logos and kits because it's a club of its own now within a club. But if we click back on them, on the reserve teams there, you can have it as a B team if you want. It doesn't have to be under 23s. You could leave your under 23s there, leave it normal, and add a reserve team I think you can have a reserve team, yeah, or a B team, or a second. Look at all the options you've got. So you don't have to move your under 23s. You can keep them. So you keep your under 18s and under 23s like everyone else, doing their own thing, and maybe make a B team. It's up to you, man. But obviously, we'll do what I did for the experiment. So I made an under 23 team, and there you go down there. Look, under 23s. If you click on them, their own club, their own ID. You could change the name if you want. You can do all sorts. You can give them a reputation. So if they're in the league, you might want to give them a bigger reputation. Make sure you put them in a division. But remember, if I add them into the Sky Bet League 2, so I'll go to search, right? Go to add condition, go to name, Sky Bet League 2. I put them in the league. You're going to have to remember, Sky Bet League 2 will then have one extra team. So you'll need to go into Sky Bet League 2 and remove a team. Right? Can't have too many, can't have too little. It's got to be perfect. So that's where you add the division you want them to play in. Championship, maybe even non-league. Totally up to you. Don't worry about anything else. Give them a stadium. So, you know, give them your reserve stadium or your training ground or whatever. Maybe you can play in Old Trafford if you wanted. It's up to you. And then click their attendances to suit. That's pretty much it. If you wanted, you could change the colour of the kits, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. You've got the staff and players here as well, but they're also on this segment, so you don't need to bother with that either. Unless you want to add some extra ones, it's totally up to you. But it's that simple. As long as when you remove a team from a league, you replace it, and when you add a team to a league, you make sure you remove one. Honestly, it's that easy. So there we go. That is the end of it. It was a very quick race. Races are what they are. If a team does it, they do it. Manchester City won the race, so fair play to them. I didn't think they would because of the loans they had, but you know, even with that handicap, it did stop them. They showed the depth they've got and the quality of maybe the coaching. Fair play, they won it. Didn't take long. Promoted. But hopefully, you've seen the screenshots of those 4 players, and you'll see there's differences from just keeping it as it is, or from putting an under 23 or youth team into the football league. Different things happen to the players. They're slightly different. Different attributes change. So it all depends on what you want from a player. You might have seen something in either way and thought, I like that, I'll keep it the same, or I liked how they turned out playing football league for a lower team, so I'm going to do that. Totally up to you. So hopefully you enjoyed this little video. I enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun. If you did enjoy it, smash the like button. If you are new, feel free to subscribe. Like I always say, go and check out all my other content, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this and to watch anything I do. I really do appreciate it. You've been brilliant. I've been Bood. I'll see you next time.